how's everybody doing? Understanding the vulnerability of the people before you. Now, the reason I'm talking about this, a few questions has come up after the video I posted a few weeks ago that Leah, you talked about getting the basics right. How do you even get the basics right when you have people in front of you or people before you who are not getting those basics right and they're acting as a barrier to you getting the basics right? And the answer that I'm going to give this person, sometimes it requires you to understand the level of vulnerability those people are at, or the level of vulnerability they are at. It's the same thing. When you understand that the person in front of you is vulnerable, the way you deal with them will literally quicken up the process for you to get to where you need to get to. How did I even think about that? I was on my way to work, and on as we're all driving and all that, there was a police car that was on the side, and we had a Lana's car on the other side. But we all stopped and realized at that moment everybody literally had to go as fast as they can so that we can, get the traffic as smooth as possible. But the person in front of us was Alana. And on the other side, the person that needed to come was a police vehicle. And what these police people did, they literally pulled over on the side, gave way to the Lana, gave them a few minutes to kind of pull off smoothly so that they move out of the way, and then we continued smoothly with everybody. Now, them doing that did not mean that they lost their authority. If I'm talking about police cars and whatever, you know how authoritative they are when it comes to traffic, whatever, their job. You know that they're in charge when it comes to policing and everything else. So them doing that did not mean that they lost authority. So the same applies to us as well. When a few people, or when you have people in your way that don't have an idea what they're doing, understand that the first thing you need to know is that they're vulnerable. Now, start assessing the level they're at. Some people, it means just pointing at what they need to do so that they keep moving and therefore they get out of your way. Some people, it means you have to help them through their journey, not just pointing, but walk with them step by step so that they can get to where they need to. Now, some people can argue and say, I don't have time to walk with others when I'm also struggling with my own. Trust me, if you have people in front of you that are stuck and that's the only way, you have to do it. You have to understand that they're vulnerable and therefore do it. And as soon as you do it, you're moving as well. They'll get out of the way and you're moving. And you staying backwards doesn't mean anything. It means you're supporting them. And another group of people means they think they know, they don't know that they're a barrier themselves. So you need to understand for them. You need to understand that these people are blocking everyone else's way, and they have no clue that they're literally vulnerable. And I'm using the word vulnerable in this case that they're not knowledgeable, or they have no idea that their way of doing things, or them being doing things the way they do it, is kind of holding everybody else back. And what you need to do in this instance, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes or most times, get out of the way, let them move. So now the other instance was different, that you get out of the way because they just needed to have a clear way for them to move. But this type of people, they're people who think that they're knowledgeable in some cases. So get out of the way, let them go. And as they move, you also begin to move slowly. But what's gonna happen, they're gonna get there and they're gonna get stuck because they realized they needed you. They realized they needed to follow instructions. They realized they've gone as far as they could have gone, and that's where their knowledge ends. So this means you're not stuck, they're stuck, because as they moved out of your way, and you kept on moving. And for them, that's the end of them. So now they've come to a realization that, you know what, I am vulnerable. I have no answer. So that's why I said you get the basics right. So getting the basics right in this case of people being in front of you and they're not moving, they're stagnant, is you understanding the level of vulnerability they're at. So now the second thing, after the group that you have to work with, those you have to point at the way, those that you have to move out the way and let them have a clear vision, a clear view of where they're going, and those that think that they're knowledgeable yet they're not, I've told you what you need to do. Now yourself, understand the people that are before you, the people that were vulnerable before, and have gone through the process and understood it. Because sometimes it could be you thinking that other people are in your way, and therefore you can't go any further because of them. Yet it is you that need to know that in this area, I need so and so to help me. I need to seek advice. I need to seek support from so and so. And therefore you're stagnant, but then you're blaming other people. You're blaming other people for being in your way, yet you lack knowledge of how to tell these people. Sometimes you need to know who you are and say, you know what, I am a manager, I'm a leader, or I am whatever in this case, and therefore, using the level of authority that I have, I request that could you please get out of my way. If you know your laws, if you know your rules, and you know your right. Sometimes it's lack of understanding of who you are and confidence. And if you're not confident, not many people are literally going to get out of your way because you yourself are lacking. You are lacking. And therefore, they don't have time to waste with you with your lack of knowledge. So you need to go away and seek knowledge in that area. So understanding the level of vulnerability the people in front of you are at will help you to swiftly go through all the processes you have to get, and you stop using other people as an excuse without you doing the basic in that area. So that's what I meant by getting the basics right. But getting the basics right refers to different situations, and you have to understand, because someone said to me, but Leah, it just, when you say getting the basic right, literally, what do you mean by the basics? I don't get it. Like literally, part of him, he knows that I'm right, but then he doesn't know what he needs to do. I'll answer that next time. But this time, it was for people who I think need to stop blaming people that are in their way, and then take on their responsibility and literally measure the level of vulnerability the people in front of them are at. I mean, I'm answering this as I'm also learning, because that I got that when I was thinking about why is everybody, so many people are literally saying, oh, I can't do this, so and so is in my way, I can't do this. No, but you need to understand that they're vulnerable. They either need you or they need you to get out of the way, and you getting out of the way does not take away your authority at all. No, 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 never, even in a million years. But please understand, I hope this makes sense, and I hope you guys continue asking me questions, because I enjoy them. But when I see one question that's kind of common and from different people as well, it kind of catches my eyes. Oh, actually, I forgot one more thing. Take away the self when you're dealing with people. It sounds silly because everybody says, you know, there's this thing where, for example, when you go on the plane, they said before you tie anybody's belt, even a child, tie yours. I do understand that's correct. You need your safety first. But sometimes once you know that your belt is fully tightened, you need to care about the people around you. You need to care about, so the fact that you need to tie yourself first is correct. I do agree. Be strong. You cannot tell others to be strong if you're not strong yourself. But some people are too selfish. I look at the questions, I'm thinking, wow, did you just ask that? But obviously you can't. People have different way of thinking. But sometimes all that is required, it is you to say, you know what, I think I was struggling before and I know how to come out of that. So let me take away the selfishness and help other people. So that's all I've got to say. Please understand the level of vulnerability, people, because one day it will be you. Thank you.